Next, we have MichealSchwotzer, Finance Director, Monthly Financials.
Thank you. What I've presented to you through a package is the December financials, income and expense, and this is what I'm calling the second pass. What I've done is I've updated the numbers, and I'm just going to hit a couple of the highlights that are dealing with this. The expenditure report changed very little between the first pass and the second pass. There's about $26,000 of additional expense, and that is the result of the 2012 accruals, or actual column, changing due to the year-end accruals being slightly higher than the 11. Now, accruals are not the encumbrances. I'm talking about these are the year-end invoices for the street lighting, the electric, the heat, okay, so that I get the right bills in the right month. And I have on the books from the prior year a very similar number. I flipped them, bring in a new number, and this year the number was higher by about $26,000. The biggest change was in the open 2012 PO column. Now I'm talking about accruals. The total to be encumbered, and I say to be because nothing has been encumbered as of this time, has been lowered from the first estimate, which was $512,000, to $385,000 due to, one, adding $14,000 for the code book update, which you approved me to do a late accrual on, closing of $45,000 worth of public works POs. As I said, we do a second review, and we found that these were no longer needed, had been finished, they were closed. It's just part of the process. And then third, the voiding of the $100,000 PO related to the repair of the sewer beneath Lafayette and Winnicott Road. I'll get into that in another section. In the special revenue accounts, the only change was to Fund 27 EMS, where an additional $83,000 worth of December billings was recorded. This is the typical, we run a month behind all year long. We finally catch up in December. There is a second analysis, which we'll get to in a minute, showing the suggested, and I say suggested total dollars to be encumbered, along with a copy of the modified outstanding open 2012 PO listing. I will need a vote of the board before booking these encumbrances. Please note that if the board makes a change to the totals, the expense reports will need to be adjusted and reissued. It's not a major thing. Shortly, I'll be finishing up a cover memo of the unaudited statements for inclusion, which will look a lot like the monthlies, which is what you have here, and then with a bigger cover note, and that's what will go into the annual report. A copy of the memo will be forwarded to you as soon as available, and that will become my package that I will put up on the web. I will distribute to the budget committee, etc. I am planning on having that done by Friday. You have an answer to a prior question in regards to the rise sewer billings. It was much greater than budget by $105,000. It turned out there was a $97,000 bill issued in December for the capital cost for 2005 to 2011. This bill was paid within 1 week. That was a catch-up. So therefore, there should have been some number to the tune of $15,000 included as cost. So therefore, next year I suspect we'll be getting somewhere around $70,000 or $75,000 now that we have this number included in it. That's all I have for the information on that, but that's what the bill was for.
Can I ask you a question on that particular one? So it was my understanding that we had been billing them for the capital right along. It sounds like what we discovered was we weren't billing them for all of the capital costs, and we identified an error and took care of it this year. I
have to believe it was an error, an oversight, but I have no further information than that. All I saw was a copy of the bill. I've been doing a lot of things, and I found that so that I could at least answer the question.
Can we get some clarification on that once you're aware of that?
Yep, I can do that. All right. Are there